If you are left-handed and you can't find just the right AR-15, what do, folks? You build one. Now this is a kind of a cool project I've just completed with my son William. He's behind the scenes there running the camera, and he's going to be doing the shooting on this rifle for a really good reason. Why would you need a left-handed AR-15 if you're a left-hand shooter? Well, you don't unless you're shooting suppressed. You put one of these on your AR-15 and it increases the blowback coming out of the action. And in severe cases, it can blow some particles back out of that action with some pretty good speeds. And if you're unlucky, they can get in your eye and do some damage, right? So I had a shooter friend of mine, pretty accomplished shooter, and a great photographer named Sean Utley that made me aware of this. He's a left-handed shooter too, and he heard I was doing some predator hunting with William and had been letting him shoot my AR-15 right-hand rifle with a suppressor on it, left-handed. And he said, you got to stop that because he can get hurt. His eyes can get damaged. So I took his advice, and for a while, William was a bolt-action predator hunter, but we've just built him what we figure is the ultimate AR-15 predator hunting rifle. It's a left-handed AR-15 with a 223 wild chamber, match grade 18-inch barrel with a rifle length gas system. And I'll tell you why that's important here in just a minute. We've got a little short compact Speed K suppressor on the end of it. It's a Banish Speed K offered by Silencer Central. And we're here to ring it out and show you what it does. So from the ground up, let's talk through the parts on this rifle real quick, and then we'll get to the fun part, the shooting part. We got Rock River receivers, left-hand receivers. They call them their lefty, LEF-T receiver set, along with the Rock River left-handed charging handle, bolt carrier group, and all the small parts. I'm actually really impressed with their gear. They've got really nice magazine release, the left-handed bolt lock, all the relevant parts. In it, we put a LaRue tactical trigger, and it weighs 1 pound, 8 ounces. It's great. It's nice and crisp. It's a 2-stage trigger, which is kind of cool when you're predator hunting in the cold. It helps you feel that trigger and control it well. The grip is a Hogue overmolded grip, just a standard Hogue, and William is really partial to that grip, and so that's what we got for him. We put a enhanced receiver extension, or if you want to call it a buffer tube, on that receiver set for a couple of reasons. This one has a anti-tilt section in it where it holds the buffer stop that prevents carrier tilt. This is a small accurizing technique that I learned from National Match AR-15 and M16 armorers years ago. It's got a MFT, Mission First Tactical Minimalist stock on it. It's not the best for shooting from a bench because you just have that little hook right there to brace on your rear rest, but it's really light, it's really robust, and it's great for a hunting AR. The super important stuff is in front of the receiver. We used a Wilson Combat barrel. They make premium barrels. This one's stainless steel, and it's their Urban Sniper profile, so it's a little smaller in diameter than their true target profile or their heavy sniper profile barrels. It's deeply fluted to additionally reduce weight while maintaining rigidity, so you get that super good accuracy and consistency over a long string of shots. We hope, right? We haven't wrung it out thoroughly yet. And it's an 18-incher, so you get a little more velocity than you get with a 16-inch standard carbine length barrel. And that gives you better terminal performance with your Predator loads. And it's a kind of a funny thing. We look at this as a Predator rifle, but it's also very much a DMR, designated marksman rifle, type AR-15. This is, be perfectly in the hands of the best riflemen in a squad of soldiers, most of them equipped with M4s. This one, as mentioned earlier, the rifle barrel also has a rifle length gas system rather than a mid-length, which is really popular, or a carbine length. The rifle length gas systems bleed off gas a little bit slower over a little bit more extended length of time, and as a result, the impulse, that functioning impulse, feels really smooth, especially compared to the carbine length gas system. A mid-length is kind of a hybrid that tries to, make it as smooth as possible, and they're pretty good with the 16-inch barrel. That's another reason to go with the 18 though. You have to have at least an 18-inch barrel to run a rifle length gas system, which makes the rifle feel like it kicks less and it's smoother through recoil. And then of course we've got that little suppressor on the front. Those are awesome. They're 3D printed out of Inconel and are engineered to minimize blowback. So specs say that can right there will only increase blowback by 6%, which is very, very little on an AR-15. It's cool for a couple of reasons. First, you're less likely to get the soot in your face, right? Those superheated, high-velocity particulates coming out. Also, it keeps your action a little cleaner when you're not blowing all that soot back in it. And finally, it's quieter. Funny enough, a lot of the sound of a suppressed AR comes out of the ejection port. And that's pretty well it, I think, for the rifle setup. We've got a gunner scope on here. This is a 1-to-10 power, the Odin 1-to-10 by 28. It's got a really good dial-up turret, locking, pull it up to turret to twist it. It's got a nice zero stop on it, illuminated. Good scope for this. William's been squirreling this away, planning to put it on something cool for a while. And I guess that's about it. We've got a Viking Tactics sling on it. Up front, there's a folding carbon fiber and machined aluminum bipod. And now we just need to put ammo in it and see what it'll do downrange. That's a little bigger. That one's probably 1.5 inches. All right, consistency's pretty good. We got 2,661 feet per second with the Black Hills 77 grain load. Just about 11 on the standard negation. That is pretty awesome. Good performance. And that one group was probably a 1/2 inch.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot one more.
Okay, I see that one.
Yeah, that's back up with the initial too. But that load's promising. You got 3 out of 4 in 1 inch or so.
Yeah.
Why don't you switch to the right hand bullseye and shoot another group?
Right hand?
Yeah, the right hand one.
Okay.
Use the same pattern as you did on the previous load. You got a little bit of horizontal spread again. I think that's wind, even if it's just at 100 yards. I think that wind's getting you a little bit. It's not bad though. It's just over 1 inch.
Okay.
Okay, one more group, left-hand target.
All right.
Sweet. That's another 1/2 inch group. Man, when the wind doesn't get you, I think you're
dead right now.
Great accuracy out of that. All right, you may be wondering why we're not letting this rifle cool between groups. Well, it's because it's got a premium semi-heavy sniper grade barrel in it, right? This is a precision barrel. And besides, ARs are meant to shoot long shot strings without losing accuracy, at least the good ones, like this DMR-Type rifle that we built for predator hunting. So shooting 3 consecutive 3-shot groups without letting it cool is a little bit of a aggressive protocol, testing protocol, but this rifle should do it. And that protocol allows you to evaluate whether your point of impact shifts or accuracy opens up and degrades as this barrel gets hot. Judging by that last group that William just shot, is, last 3-shot group with a good hot barrel, accuracy is not degrading one bit. So far, I'm dead pleased with this rifle. Just getting broke in, and it's showing a lot of potential. Okay, velocity with the Hornady load is about 2,610 feet per second. Standard deviation is a little bit wider, almost 20. Still not too bad for an AR, but I like seeing closer to that, 12 feet per second standard deviation or lower. Still, this load's showing quite a lot of promise in this rifle. Good. Nice inch-sized group right at 12 o'clock. Shift to the right side of that bar.
Okay.
Ooh. Touching holes, they cut. Overlapped. Cool. The wind got you just a little bit with your second shot.
Yeah.
But you still got like 1 1/8" group right there. Very cool.
Cool.
Okay. 2,586 feet per second. Standard deviation is 22 with the Wilson Combat 77 grain ammo. All right, precision match next. This is a Barnes load with an 85 grain match burner bullet. This is the heaviest magazine compatible bullet that I've run in ARs quite a bit, and it is super accurate in my Rock River National match AR-15. Accurate enough that I actually won a Utah State Championship service rifle match with it years and years ago. So I'm kind of partial to this stuff. It is a heavy bullet. We'll see how well this rifle shoots it. Nice. I'm noticing this rifle does not shift point of impact much at 100 yards with different bullet weights. That's awesome. Very cool.
Nice.
Got 2 touching. That's a 3/4 inch group. Right target.
Which one?
Bottom row.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. You notice it appears higher than the other group, but keep in mind that your aiming point is a 1/2 inch higher as well. So
yeah,
your point of impact hasn't shifted. Go to that left one now.
Okay.
Beautiful. That was a tad high. Yeah, not too bad. That one's a tad more than an inch. You got one more?
Yeah, I'll load one more real quick.
There you go. Awesome. Alrighty, next we're going to test one of my favorite loads for fur. This is the 40 grain Hornady VMAX in Black Hills Ammunition. I've had ARs in the past that shoot this stuff into 1/2 inch groups pretty consistently. It tends to be super fast, and it doesn't usually exit on coyotes, so it doesn't blow a big hole out the backside. So we're kind of going from one extreme to another. 85 grain match burners, ideal for extreme range shooting with an AR, right down to the fast flat shooting 40 grain VMAXs. Okay, top row, shoot that 12 o'clock position first, if you would, William.
Okay, I see that one.
A little high, a little left.
Yeah.
But it's a much different weight bullet than we've been shooting. Ooh, 1/2 inch apart. That one's out just a little bit.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
You can see the target shaking there, folks. There's still quite a lot of wind downrange. Let me shoot the right side bullseye now.
Alrighty.
Yeah, cool. Got an inch group there. Well, that is smoking. As you can see, that 40 grain VMAX is going 3,504 feet per second, and the standard deviation is real good too, 6.7 feet per second over just 6 shots. We initially forgot to turn the chronograph on. Cool, kind of unusual load. You don't see a lot. Lehigh Defense, this is a 62 grain controlled chaos bullet. That's an all copper bullet that breaks into multiple big chunks with a remaining shank to drive deep on impact. And William just told me that the government bought a bunch of Lehigh Defense 300 blackout ammo last year for, you know, specialized military use, presumably in subsonic rifles. Kind of cool. We're going to test this one in the Coyote rifle. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, a lot more speed with the 62 grain controlled chaos. We're doing 2,917 feet per second with a standard deviation of 29. So it's not super consistent, but nice and fast. Shot pretty decently.
So the pop and dancing's free. So if you want to know me.
Yeah, I think your rifle likes this one the least.
Right.
It's probably also getting dirty by now, but
Yeah, probably.
that's all right. What did we test? We tested 7, I think. Getting 5 out of 7 that shoot good that's a win.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool. All right, this one, this Barnes load, 62 grain TSX, is probably the least consistent out of all the ones we've tried. Also, the rifle is, you know, the barrel might be getting a little bit dirty, but fast, 3,107 feet per second average with a nice tight standard deviation of 9 feet per second. That's pretty awesome. We'll probably clean this barrel, deep clean it real good, and give this load another chance. But yeah, not too shabby. I think we got 5 out of the 7 that are pushing minute of angle or better. Awesome. Man, I've been pretty impressed. William likes the rifle. It hasn't hiccuped a single time in all of our testing, which is really awesome. It shoots nice and smooth. Point of impact tends to be really consistent across a broad spectrum of ammunition types. The only real outlier we found was that 40 grain VMAX, which had a whole different 1.5 inch shift. Unacceptable. Anyway, great rifle. One other thing we're going to do, because there's a little bit of play between these receivers, we're going to add a $6, $7 Accurized in there, which will probably benefit accuracy a tiny bit just by removing one little inconsistency, right? And beyond that, I think just as the rifle continues to break in and be used hard, it's just going to get better and better. As it is, I think about half the loads we've tested will average under 1 inch at 100 yards. Pretty dang cool for an AR-15. For those wondering, we're into this about $1,500 for parts. And yeah, that's a lot more than you can get a really basic left-hand AR off a gun broker or something for. But as premium parts, this rifle is built to the nines, and it's the equivalent, you know, of a $2,000, $2,500 high-end AR that you'd buy. And those left-hand ARs are hard to find. So, man, I think we've got a winner here in this one that we built. William and I actually took it out and wandered around the field back on our farm with some torso targets out to 425 yards. And in those, there's a little 6-inch round center mass swinger, and then a forehead, a little 3-inch square in the forehead with a swinger behind it. And I challenged him to shoot our 350 yard and our 425 yard target headshots. And by golly, he slipped a bullet, 77 grain Sierra Match King, through that little 3-inch gap on both those targets. first try. So good rifle. Prone, it really, really shoots. I think it's going to be perfect for shooting coyotes and other predators. Thanks for tuning in and watching this, folks. Hopefully you've been inspired a little bit to try and optimize your own left-hand AR-15 if you are a southpaw shooter. And if you're not, but you know somebody that's shooting an AR-15 left-handed with his pressure on it, but that rifle's a right-hand action, just warn them. We don't want anybody getting eye damage from high pressure, superheated particulates coming out that ejection port and into somebody's eyes. I'm Joseph Von Benedict, here with my son William behind the camera, and we'll see you in the backcountry.